Thank you for joining me for my final installment of these Holy Week reflections. I'm grateful you've been making this journey with me this week. This is the first time in decades of pastoring that I haven't had a Holy Week service to plan, so this has been a meaningful outlet for me. I don't know who all has been joining me, so if you could take a few seconds to leave a comment on my Facebook page, I sure would appreciate it. Thank you. So we come to Holy Saturday. It's the day sandwiched between the tragedy of Good Friday and the triumph of Easter Sunday. It's not easy to come up with things to say about this Saturday. Jesus' burial was conducted in quick fashion on Friday so as to be done by sundown and the start of the Sabbath. As Saturday arrives, Jesus' body is securely in the tomb, sealed by a boulder and guarded by Roman guards to prevent anyone from stealing the corpse. As Saturday arrives, the 11 remaining disciples have sealed themselves in a secret location behind locked doors, fearing that Jesus' fate could soon become their own. As Saturday arrives, the women who have faithfully followed Jesus all the way to his cross grieve and wait for the dawning of the next day when they can go apply burial spices to the body of their Lord. As Saturday arrives, all is quiet, like the eerie silence following a tornado's destruction. On Saturday, nothing really is happening. Or is there? As strange as this question may sound, what was Jesus doing while his body lay in the tomb? Listen to these words by the Apostle Peter. Jesus was put to death in the body, but made alive by the Spirit, through whom also he went and preached to the spirits in prison. It's what Christians declare every time we recite the Apostles' Creed. I believe in Jesus Christ, who was crucified, dead, and buried. He descended into hell. I don't know that I've ever heard a sermon on this subject. I confess I've never preached one. But this belief in Jesus' descent to the realm of the dead was of great importance to the earliest believers and down through the centuries. For instance, in the 2nd century, Bishop Melito delivered a message on Holy Saturday where he imagined Jesus preaching this to hell's captives. I order you, O sleeper, to awake. I did not create you to be held a prisoner in hell. Rise from the dead, for I am the life of the dead. 2 centuries later, another preacher named Cyril of Alexandria wrote, if Jesus had not gone down among the dead, death's cruel empire would never have been shattered. It's a belief known as the harrowing or the plundering of hell. I don't begin to grasp all this, but what an incredible thought that when Jesus died, he preached to the spirits in prison and plundered hell of its captives. Now, before we get lost in the fog over this subject, let's step back and consider what it's teaching us on this Holy Saturday. All this week, we've seen how Jesus has been battling for shalom, a word that means peace or salvation, healing, restoration, shalom in our lives, shalom in our world. And that battle for shalom took him to the cross. At the end of Friday, all seemed lost. It appeared that the powers of evil had once again won a crushing victory. Jesus' promise of shalom lay buried in that tomb with him. There will be many Holy Saturdays in our lives. Days when hope seems absent. Days when God seems silent. Days when the forces of evil seem unstoppable. But here's what we must never forget. Even on days when all hope feels lost, that first Holy Saturday reminds us that Jesus is still at work in ways we can't see, robbing the grave and plundering even the darkest of hells. Please listen to these powerful words, again from Jason Porterfield in his book, Fight Like Jesus. On days when God appears absent and it feels as if the principalities and powers of this world have won, Holy Saturday reminds us to press on. Press on, for Jesus is at work beneath the surface, defeating death and dismantling despair. Press on, for the days when Jesus seems most lifeless may actually be the days when he's most actively working for our peace, our shalom. And above all, he says, press on, for Sunday is coming. Or as the Apostle Paul says at the end of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, his great chapter on the resurrection, therefore, my dear sisters and brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So, my dear friends, stand firm and press on. You may not see it right now, but Jesus is still at work for shalom in your circumstances, in your ministry, in our world. So let's partner with him in his work. And always remember, it may be Holy Saturday, but Sunday is coming. So I leave you with this prayer. May the peace, the shalom of Christ be with you. Amen.